Today, I've come to the pond in the field on the day after a pretty nasty storm, and I've done this because the carp in this pond seem to come out when it's windy and stormy, and they just love stormy weather. Now obviously it's the day after the storm, but I think that'll give me a better shot of catching one today. And I'm going to switch things up a little bit today, and I'm going to be using some worms to try and catch the carp, because me, along with a lot of you guys, seem to think natural baits would work in this pond very well. So let's put that to the test today, shall we? I spent a little while this morning digging up a pot of worms. I've got some fat ones and some small ones in there, so a nice variation should do. But I'm also going to be using a wafter on one of my rods, just in case the worms don't work. Obviously, I'm hoping today I'll end up catching the biggest one in here, which is roughly 13 poundish. I've only ever heard about this fish coming out this pond, and some seem to think it's been poached over the years, but I'm pretty convinced it's in here for some reason. So I'm going to keep trying to catch this fish. But anyway, I'm going to set one of my rods up real quick, which would be the method feeder one, because that's quick and easy to set up and get out, and then I'll do the worms afterwards. That rod's now prepared for any action that comes to it. But now I'm going to set the second rod up and put some worms on this one. Now to do this, I've come up with a bit of a simple rig. I've just put the method feeder on. I've attached a hair rig to the end of that. And I've got my baiting needle here. I'm going to thread a big worm and a little worm onto it. Put that on the hair right there. Put a stopper on and chuck it out. And obviously I'll put a bit of ground bait in the feeder to get some bait out with it. And that should get me a nice carp. The worms have all kind of joined in the pot and become one. So I'm just gonna have to pick them out. Here we are, that's a pretty decent sized one actually. So I'll thread him onto the needle. He's quite tough to pierce. There we go. He's on there now, so I'll just put him through a couple of times. There we go. And now a third. He's very tough to pierce. He's wriggling like mad. There we are, that's the third. I'll do a fourth because he's quite long and I don't want to risk him escaping. And there we go. Now he's on there. I'll thread him onto the hair, which is just here. I'll put the clip over that and pull him down. And just like that, he's attached onto the hair rig. I'm just going to put the stopper on really quick, which is just in my finger here, a little tiny plastic thing. Thread that through the loop, just like that. I'll get that needle out, and that worm is not escaping. That was actually very simple to get him on there, but that looks like it'll catch me a nice carp, to be honest with you. If he sees that, he's going to smash it. So I'll put some ground bait in my feeder real quick. I'm just loading it right now, and there we go, that's in. I'll put the hook in there, and that is ready to cast out now. Lovely worm on hair. Now, I'm not too sure how this will perform, obviously, but odds are it'll do well. Better than the red krill wafter. Oh, I should hope so anyway. So I'm just going to give it a nice underarm toss over to this tree over there, which I'll show you in a moment. Carp love it around this tree. I don't know about this time of year, but they do in the summer, so I'm going to try and get it just to the left of it in the deeper part. Here goes nothing. There we go, perfect. That was a nice quick and easy setup of the rods. Before I sit down under my brolly and chair, I've brought with me some of this stuff, so I'm just going to put a load of that in my catapult here and chuck it out to where I'm fishing to bait up the areas a bit more. Anyway, I've set the brolly up, so I'm going to take a seat under here. It's a little bit warmer under this brolly, so that's why I bought it. But yeah, let's roll on the session. Now, as we speak, it's mid-November, and I've never fished the pond for carp this time of year, ever, because I only discovered that there was carp in here in February at the start of this year. So I've never fished it in around November, December time at all. I can tell you now it fishes amazing in the summer and the spring, but I don't know for the winter or autumn. So this could very well be one of those ponds that the carp just go completely dormant all winter long. Or it could be one that you can still catch a couple now and then over winter time. I'm hoping it's one of those ponds. I'll find out this winter anyway. But I am going to stop fishing it for a little while over the winter. I will still come here and there because, you know, it's a nice pond that I love to fish. But it's pointless coming if I'm going to blank. So I'd rather go somewhere that I'm going to catch. So this might be my last session here for a little while. I don't know. I'll definitely come at least once in December because I want to see what it fishes like then. But yeah, I've got pretty high hopes for today with the worm that I've put on. I think that'll do well and catch me a nice carp. Now, I've come early in the morning. I got here at just before 10 AM, which it isn't early in the morning, but it's early-ish because I usually come here in the afternoon, but I can't anymore because sun decides to set at 4 o'clock, which is no good, is it? So I've got to come earlier now, which isn't a bad thing. But the weather this morning's been nice. It's been really still. It's a little bit nippy, but I've got my thermals on, so I'm fine. And considering it was a full-blown storm all day yesterday, it was 60-mile-an-hour winds all day long, raining all day, it was nasty weather. This morning, it's just chill. It was calm, no wind at all, no rain. It's gone a little bit windy now. I'll show you on the waterbed, actually. You can just see a couple of ripples coming towards me. But when I got here, it weren't windy at all. It is a little bit nippy now, but as I say, I'll be fine. and I think I'm planning on staying for about 3 or 4 hours today. I'll probably leave at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and in that time I'll catch a carp, because, you know, 4 hours is plenty of time to catch one. I think with the rods today, I'm just going to leave them out. I'll bring the feeder in once, maybe an hour and a half into the session, but I don't want to mess with them too much, because I prefer to just leave the bait out as long as possible, because there's more chance of a fish coming towards it then, especially with this worm. I've just come around this side of the pond here, and you can see down there the overflow pipe's actually pumping water out for once, which is never the case. I've never seen that pump actually working. But that just proves how much rain we had yesterday. There's obviously a pipe running through the field and it's draining into the pond. Another thing I want to mention is the pond looks dead at the moment. It still looks really nice, but all of the trees have died now. The bushes have died, and the water, it's just brown, thick brown. Whereas in the summer, it looks like this. It's all green and nice, but that's like everywhere, so I don't know why I'm so surprised really. But I'm just having a little stroll around the pond because I want to see if I can spot any carp or any fish or anything really. Coming down here into this little bit here, this is just drained completely and it just looks a tip. Doesn't exactly look nice. It does look a tip actually. Someone keeps coming and leaving all the litter. It ain't very nice. Oh my god, hold on a second. Look at that. A dead perch. That thing's big. I mean, it's not nice seeing a dead fish. And I don't know why he's there, to be honest. Maybe he's just drifted. But my god, that perch is big. Now, I knew there was perch in here, but I didn't think there was actually like decent sized perch. Maybe I'll have to start fishing for them here sometime soon, because I definitely would be interested in catching some perch like that. There's a good chance that this perch has been had by a heron. His eyes are all poked out and there's big, you know, like marks in his body. So yeah, a heron has more than likely done that to the poor thing. I'm telling you, man, there's all sorts of fish in this pond. There's obviously carp in here. From what I know, there's mirrors and commons. There could be other species that I don't know about yet. There's obviously perch, gudgeon, roach, rudd, and there's a few little tiny bream in here. But not once did I think that the perch would be that big in here. That is, you know, that's kind of shocked me, that has. It seems there's decent sized everything in here, because there's some massive roach in this pond, I'm telling you. Throughout the summer, if you come and you pole fish this place with a couple of maggots on the hook, you've probably seen them in my videos, but you'll whip out some decent sized fat roach. But yeah, that perch, I've only caught little ones about that big out this pond, nothing like that, so that's shocked me. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it now. I've just done a cheeky little recast on the rod here. I probably shouldn't have, but I wasn't really happy with the location I got it in first time round. So I'm not going to touch this rod now until I leave, or until I get a fish on it. Now, 2 minutes after I said that, I hooked into a carp on the other rod. Here we go then, guys. I've got me a fish on. I didn't think this would happen at all, but turns out I have a lovely carp on. I don't know what it is yet, but he's gone in the bush. He's a bit snagged, so I hope I don't lose him. Come on then, buddy. Let's get him in. I'll tighten the drag a bit and try and get him out. Oh no, he's come off. He's come off. Oh man, I'm gutted about that. That might be my only shot, but I'll get it tossed back out. But I had a fish on that. Unfortunately, he went in the snags and I lost it, but I'll get another one. That's a good sign actually that they're feeding, so I'm not going to take it to heart. I'm going to put this back out there now real quick into the same spot it was in just, and I'm hoping that I'll get another fish on. It's now been about 20 minutes since I hooked into that fish and lost it. The bait's been out there for 20 minutes obviously, and really nothing's happened. I did bait up the area a little bit more with them pellets down there and the catapult. I catapulted about 4 little, whatever you call them, of bait out there and scattered it all around my hook bait, so that should lure something over hopefully. But I'm only going to stay for an hour and a half more now because temperature's dropped mad. It's freezing cold now, and it's starting to rain a little bit. It's really light rain at the moment, but it might get worse within the hour, so I don't want to get caught up in that. Another half hour has passed since I last picked up the camera. Again, nothing's happened, and similar to last time, it's got a bit colder again. I think I'm just going to stick it out for 15 more minutes, because I would love to land a fish for this video, because I know it's doable, I know it's possible, seeing as I had one hooked about an hour ago. But honestly, I think I missed my opportunity to catch one now. I only ever catch one fish a session at this place anyway, and that would have been the only one that was biting. It's a weird location, and it's a very tough place to fish. But yeah, I'm going to stick it out for 15 minutes longer and see what comes of it. So I'll see you in 15. Okay then, I'm going to think about packing up now. I've been here for just shy of 4 hours, so I've been here a long time. Theoretically, I should have caught a fish, but I lost him thanks to that tree over there. But yeah, it's getting too cold for my liking now, and even though I've got thermals and everything on, I'm froze to the bone. And it's not nice to sit around in, so I'm going to pack up now and head home. I'm very sorry to disappoint. I'm absolutely shocked that the worms haven't caught me anything. If anything, I thought the worms would have had me a carp on instead of that red wafter, but it turns out red wafters do work very well in this pond. So I'm going to bring in the worms first, because obviously they've had no luck all session, whereas that one might have a little luck in the last couple of minutes. You never know. But the worms have stayed on the hook all right, which is cool. And I've not lost faith in the method of worms. I'm definitely going to be using it again, but maybe a different time of year, because this time of year is not very good for carp fishing in general. Now, unfortunately, it's time to bring in this rod, the one I had a fish hooked on, but yeah, as I've said a few times now, I've lost it, and as you witnessed, I lost it. But yeah, I'm gutted about that. Okay, now that is everything packed away. My rod, my brolly, and whatever all this stuff is, it's all packed up, so I'm ready to leave now. And yeah, I guess this is the end of the video. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sadly, I blanked, but I had a carp hooked, so that was a bit of excitement, I guess, for a split 10 seconds. But yeah, the pond did me no good today, unfortunately. But honestly, I would have stayed longer until sunset, but it's too cold. It's got to the point where my hands are just numb. And packing away just was a right mission. I couldn't get the elastic bands around the rod. I couldn't get the brolly down easily, so yeah, I think it's the right decision going home. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching again. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the post notifications whilst you're down there, so you don't miss another video in the future. Check out some videos linked on screen here. Become a member of the channel to help fund these videos, and follow my Instagram, wilf_fishing. I'll leave a link for that in the description, and it'll probably be on screen here somewhere. But yeah, that's about it from me today, guys. I'll see you all in the next video, but for now, I'm off, so peace for now.